Hello everybody. Just got done chasing some birds out of my shop, but so my beard's a mess. But yeah, hello everybody. Papa Blue Shirt here. Today's an exciting day. I'm going over 3,000 miles on my Philodo Jumbo. Over 3,000 miles in a month and a half, and I will say it's been a month and a half of pain. Every one of those miles I think we're in pain, but we're still riding. I am walking a little better, and the pain is moving up to my back, so I guess that's a good sign. When your sciatica pain moves up to your back, that's supposed to mean you're getting better, so we'll see. But let's get going. This 3,000 mile ride and review. Here's what the bike looks like. I did change the back tire to Ultraverse, and I'll soon change the front tire. I was really surprised that I actually got higher speed when I changed it. I expected to get lower speed, and like I did on the other one. And I think these tires might be a little taller than these other ones, so they gave me higher speed. So that was a unexpected bonus. And yeah, but let's get going here. I'm still kind of walking kind of slow, still kind of in pain, but we're gonna go see if we can do 50 miles again today. And let's see how it turns out. I've been getting a lot of rain here lately, so my driveway is just wiped out here. You can see it here. Just wiping it out every time it rains, but hopefully we'll be getting done with the rainy season here real soon, and I won't have to fix my driveway all the time. Oh, it's kind of hard to work on a Bobcat when you're hurting. Push this in all-wheel drive so I can make it up this hill. I got this in two. This is a really steep hill, but it just walks right up it like nobody's business if you got it in all-wheel drive. I wouldn't have been able to make that with the H8, me going that slow. Unless I use the throttle, which would be the same thing as all-wheel drive, so yeah. But yeah. But we're gonna do a nice little ride today. I'll try to do a review on this bike and let you know how things are going. Well, that's a big old turtle over there. Well, hopefully we don't get rained on. It wasn't supposed to rain no more today. Looks pretty dark up there, so we'll see. Yeah, it's supposed to be overcast most of today, so I hesitated whether or not I should record today or not, but I wanted to get my 3,000 mile ride and review done, so I said, well, we'll take a stab at it. If it doesn't turn out, I'll just have to do it on a different day, but hopefully it'll work all out. Like I said, we've been getting a lot of rain, but I've been having a lot of fun with this Jumbo. Hopefully by the time you see this, they'll have them back in stock again. They sold so well that they sold out, and they were on the back order for 5 weeks. Because last I looked, it was 4 weeks, so, but maybe they'll get them in sooner. You can, they do have some used ones on their website, so if you're in a real hurry and you want to go ahead and get one, I'll try to leave a link for that down below if I remember. Yeah, these past few weeks here, I've been trying to ride on number 6, just because I want to kind of try to keep it so I have time to heal. And but for the last portion of my ride, I do put it on number 7, and I've been using that to build up a trust in how far I can go. On my H8, you know, I rode it for so many miles, I knew just about exactly how far I could go. And I did ride this 66 miles is my top, and I did that in number 7 if I remember right. So that's probably around the top end of going full bore. But if you rode on 4 or 5, you could get probably 80 or 90 miles. But 5 is about the lowest I like to ride. If you go below 5, it drives me batty. So I worked out a route here that's exactly 50 miles. I ride up and down my street for about a half a mile to make it 50 miles. so I can end. Since I can't figure out how to get the trip to reset, that's my way of knowing. But so what I've been doing is at the end of the ride, I'll keep adding further and further, turning it up to number 7, so I can get a range and so I can really trust it. Because this ride here has a lot of hills on it. I was a little concerned that I wouldn't get back, you know. I'm thinking I can do it no problem on number 7, but like I said, I'm trying to work myself back into it also, so it's kind of a dual benefit thing that I'm doing. But take a look at this stop sign up here. Stop sign's got about 80 bullet holes in it. And it's right in front of the house, so you know who did it. Yeah, yesterday I had it in my mind that I was going to take a day off from bike riding and see if that helped my back any. And the closer it got time to my bike ride, the more I wanted to go. I didn't care about nothing, and all of a sudden I said, I'm going. I have to do it for my mental health, you know. So I went anyways. I did learn a few new exercises, and I'm hopeful that they'll help me. And like I said, I don't want to make this whole ride about my back pain, but it's hard when it permeates your whole being, you know. I mean, you can't blow your nose without having your back involved. So there's always that constant reminder that you're in pain, you know. But this bike so far has been really great. I am kind of disappointed how fast the stock tires wore out. I changed them at 2,700. I think I changed the back one. It was already getting bare. The front still has some tread on it, and I left it because, well, for one thing, I was wiped out and I wouldn't have been able to change it because of my back. But I thought I'd give it a few weeks and then I would change that one also. So it won't be long. I'll have all brand new Ultraverse tires on here. Now I think the Ultraverse and the Heb Allscapes are pretty similar. They look like the same tread pattern and everything, so my suspicion is that it's just the same tire with a different branding. But I think they're both a Black Cat is what the actual brand of the tire is, but I'm not for sure. But anyways, I will say that I didn't get the speed reduction on this that I did with the Heb Allscapes. When I put the Heb Allscapes on, it really lowered my speed, my top speed and my peppiness. And I put flat out in, so I suspect that's probably the reason, because I already had flat out in the tube, and then I added more. It looked like a dummy. You know, if a little bit is good, a lot should be better. And so with these, I didn't put any in. I wanted to test and see if that was the reason why, and it seems to be that it was the case. So, and these are very flat resistant anyway, so I don't know if I'll put any in. If I do put any in, I'll wait till these are worn down at least half, which may be a while, because my Heb Allscapes, I got 5,000 miles on them and they still look like brand new yet. So if you're looking for a tire that'll last a long time so you don't have to change them, these are the kind of tires you want to get. On my H8, my front tires still have the nibs on them after 5,000 miles. So these are certainly going to last a long, long time. Yeah, if you're going to take it easy and only ride for 50 miles, your name is probably Papa Blue Shirt. I'm a little over the edge, I know it. But I just love to ride. Love to ride. Well, you can see on the road there how the water went right down the road. So we've been getting a lot of rain. Hopefully we'll get out of the rainy season here and things will start to dry up a little bit. Yeah, but I'm wondering how long it's going to take me to get to 10,000. I should be there by October or November, I would think, trying to find out if this Jumbo holds up as well as the H8 did. And once I get to 10,000, I'll have 3 bikes that I rode for over 10,000 miles. Probably the one that is the most impressive is the ecotric at 10,000 miles. I ride that ecotric from the house down to my shop, and I think about it almost every day. How in the world did I ever ride 10,000 miles on this? It took me 2 years, but I did it. And then the H8 come along, and I got that in up to 10,000 in about 9 months, I think it was. That was a little easier to do because I could go further on it on every ride. Yeah, this little stretch of road here, when it's really windy, I don't even have to pedal. I just kind of coast, conserving my battery, you know, because it's so windy. I want to make sure I get home, and this has just a slight incline on it. But when the wind's blowing, you know, 20 or 25 miles an hour, I can go right down here without even having to pedal. Yeah, I wonder if you had like a mountain that you could coast all the way on one side. If you would conserve, because you could coast down the one side, then you'd have to pedal up, which would be extra hard. So probably all evens out. Right over there's another chicken barn. We have a lot of chicken barns in our area. And when the wind's blowing a certain way, it's not a very good smell. But I guess someone has to grow them for McDonald's and Kentucky Fried and all those. Burger King. Yeah, a while back we got 13.5 inches, I think it was, in one day. And our house got water in it, as did most people's. But this bridge here, this little creek here, you can see how far down it is there. It overflowed up into this field, and it was 4 foot up the corn that was out here. So this whole area was 4 feet underwater. Hard to imagine now. But that's probably the reason why there's no houses down here, because this does flood. But there's not too many areas that can handle 13.5 inches of rain in one day. I mean, we've had it where we've gotten 6 inches in an hour or something like that. It's just crazy amount really fast. And this Jumbo is a really great hill climber. If I'd kick this into all-wheel drive, I'd climb right up this and I'd gain speed all the way to the top, but I'm trying to preserve my battery here. And I'm recording with the hand that hits the all-wheel drive, so yeah. But it is a hill climber. If you're wanting a bike that can climb hills very well, this is the one to get. I mean, the H8 is really good also, but I really like the on and off button. I can use the throttle and not have it engage all-wheel drive, and so I can conserve my battery. Yeah, this energy gauge that shows you how much battery you have left, it'll start to blink red. It'll first go to a solid red. When it does that, I figure I've used 1 battery by then. But then it'll start blinking red, and you still probably got 15 miles left, but it's kind of disconcerting to see that thing, you know, blinking the whole time. So I like to be pretty close to home when that happens. Because, you know, this bike's 100 pounds, I think, so you're not probably going to ride this for very long. Especially me with my back issues, I ain't going to be riding this thing for very long without no battery. Not if I want to be able to function the next day. Well, there's the corn. Actually, it's looking really good. Yeah, back when I lived up north, we used to say knee high by the 4th of July, but Here in the south, you know, they get there a lot earlier, probably a month earlier. Yeah, this is part of a new road that I found that I could ride. I needed to add a couple more miles on my route I was doing so I could get to the 50 miles, and this is where I ended up. It's a really nice back road. It's got a few bumps here and there, but all country riding. Someone's building a brand new house there. Yeah, I kicked this thing in all-wheel drive for that hill, and boy, gotta be careful. Doing it one-handed, it'll throw you right off. But I think this is neat up here. See if I can get it as I go by here. Got a little statue there. The guy holding the American flag. Some really nice hills over here. Yeah, I've noticed when people mow their lawns, if they're an older person, they usually have hearing protection. If they're a younger person, they most likely don't. I guess you don't really think about it when you're young. When you start getting old and you get a little bit of hearing loss, then you start to think about it. I always try to, if I remember, even with my Bobcat, you know, the engine's in the back and the exhaust is in the back, but I still wear protection. Because once it's gone, it's gone. You know, my father-in-law, he worked in the mill his whole life, and he lost a lot of his hearing, as did anyone who worked at the mill. And they wore hearing protection, but just the years and years of the mill running just slowly takes away your hearing. Yep, we've come about 21 miles, and we're at the furthest north I go. There's a nice little pond out there I didn't realize was there. That's something how you can ride a route over and over and over, and then you see something you didn't see before. Yeah, kind of like reading the Bible, isn't it? You read something over and over and over, and all of a sudden something pops out at you. I'm still riding on 6. Sometimes on these hills I bump them up to 7 just to get up the other side, but so I can get up enough speed I can kind of keep going. But since I was recording, I just left it. Yeah, I used to ride a 1 block over from this road, and the road is really bad. It's got blacktop missing halfway here and there, big potholes. And I thought, man, I don't want to be riding down this all the time. So I looked around and I saw this road, 1 road over, and I thought, yeah, that'll work. And so this road's a lot better. Has pretty much the same landscape. But yeah, a lot smoother road. Well, I told you that I farm my land. I seen this the other day. I thought it was kind of neat. PBS farm. Yeah, it's not mine, but I just thought that was neat. I do go on a few highways going this way, but most of the time there's not very much traffic. This one here I have to go on because I changed that other road, because that one was really rough. So in order to get back to where that road comes out, I got to go down this road for a ways. But as you can see, it's a really nice road. I passed a few cars on it, but most of the time I can get through here without even seeing anybody. Yeah, if you know me, I try to limit my interaction with cars because they don't often do what you think they're going to do. I feel sorry for people who live in the city and that's the only place they can ride, because you have to deal with it all the time. This is really neat here. This is an old hay baler, I think, from the 1920s. But we're making our way back toward the house now. That's the furthest we go north. Now we're headed back south again. There's another empty house. The other day I was coming up through here and I seen a light of a tractor up here, and I thought, well, I'll just wait up here in the driveway and it didn't come, it didn't come, it didn't come. And I could see it, but it wasn't doing much. And I thought, well, maybe he's out in the field or something, you know, working. And I went ahead and went up here, and it was a guy, he was mowing the side of the road. So it would have been a long wait. Yeah, I think it's about 75 today, so really nice. Sun peeks out every once in a while. This is about the perfect kind of weather to be riding. I'll actually ride in the middle of the day all the way until the 90s. When it starts to get in the upper 90s, I say, well, it'd probably be real smart to ride earlier in the day, so then I start riding in the mornings. But until then, I kind of like to ride with the sun over my head because I don't have to worry about the sun hitting my face as much. Because I got my visor, you know. Yeah, because of my back issues, we were looking for someone to mow my lawn. And it was going to cost us like $800 a month or something like that. There's no way I could pay that. That's crazy. You know, back when I was a kid, I mowed lawns for $10, you know. So that's ingrained in my mind. I could never pay that kind of money, I don't think. I don't care how rich I'd be, but maybe. If I was a multi-millionaire or something. So anyways, I told my wife, I said, well, I'll mow the lawn. I'm just going to mow the lawn once a month. And so far it's worked out. Our lawn's at the mowed stage right now. It's been about 2 weeks. It's starting to get long. It's where most people would mow it. There's a UTV coming. Of course, you could argue that, you know, you have to do twice as much work because you got to mow over it extra because it's extra long, but I'd rather do that than have to mow twice. It takes me about 3 hours with a 60-inch deck, where if it was mowed shorter, I could do it in 2 hours. Like I said, I can't handle it with my back, so. And, you know, my daughter and my wife have both offered, even had a friend offer to mow it for me. But I got some really dangerous hills. You know, I mow alongside the creek, and, you know, if you make one mistake with that zero turn, off the edge you go, and it's, you know, 20 feet to the bottom. And so I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to have to be worried about that, so I just do it myself. And then suffer, you know, the next day, but that's why I'm only going to do it just once a month. And then I stopped mowing around my ponds. I thought, you know, what's the point? I'm too afraid of chiggers to go over there. I have a pond up on a hill that I no longer take care of either. If we ever go to move or something, I'll just have someone come in and I'll bush hog it all, and people can see what it's like. Let some younger person take care of it because I don't want to no more. Just too hard on this old body. What I want to do, I want to build a little dock with like a pavilion, and so then I can fish off of that. Maybe someday. There's a nice old truck here. Kind of like a yard art. Got a saddle on it. I think that's neat. Yeah, I watched the thing the other day. Some company, I don't know if it was in Taiwan or South Korea, and they make replacement parts for all those old vehicles to the point where they can make a whole body shell for you. So I thought that was neat. They actually buy the old dies from the factories, ship them over there, and then they make the parts. So these are as good as the new parts, and they use the same gauge sheet metal, so they're just like the original. So it's pretty neat. Well, we made that big loop, and now we're back over here where we started, down in the bottoms here. Down in the bottoms. Who would throw away a perfectly good couch? I still have the couch set that we had when my son was born, or maybe shortly thereafter. He just celebrated his 40th birthday. So I keep things for a while. Still have the end tables I made when I was a kid. Made some 2x4 end tables, and they turned out really well. And so I made them for a while, but we still have the original ones. Yeah, you might be poor, you know, if you make your furniture out of 2x4s. Yep, I always say, who am I trying to impress? I ain't trying to impress nobody. As long as it's still structurally sound, just throw a cover over it. I guess that's probably the result of growing up poor. You know, when you grow up poor, you learn to value things because you might not get another one. I remember I babysat my brother for $5 a week, and he's only 2 years younger than me, but you know, it was my dad's way of saying, hey, you watch over him, you know. And so I watched him over the whole summer, and we stayed mostly out of trouble. But I was able to save up enough money to get me a 10-speed bike. And yeah, so that was one of my first early bikes, you know, that I had earned with my own money. So yeah, I have some fond memories there. I was actually riding that bike. When I met my wife, I was riding wheelies. And she said, oh, be careful, you're gonna get hurt. You know, and I rode my wheelies, and, you know, I was showing off to her and stuff. And yeah, have some fond memories there. Yeah, probably the biggest irritation with this bike is I can't figure out how to do the trip. I don't think it was programmed in it or something, because I've tried everything and I can't figure out how to reset the trip. So, but other than that, it's been a really nice bike. Yeah. We're at 40 miles now, so we got 10 more miles. Should be no problem. I did bump it up to 7. Trying to go a little longer every time just so I can make sure I'll make it. Well, I wonder if my doggy will come out here. He likes to run alongside of me here. If he sees me in time, that is. But I don't see him today. Well, he must be out gallivanting around somewhere. He usually just runs alongside of me. Not trying to get me or nothing. He just likes to run. I say, good boy, good boy. And he's happy. That turned out to be a halfway decent day. I was afraid I was going to get rain down there for a while. Well, when I was doing my 2,000 mile review on my H8, I was coming through here, I was having a flat. I made it up here to around this corner, and that was it. I had to call Mama. Come pick me up. That's when I found flat out. I said I didn't want that to happen again. But the stock tires are so thin. These other tires, these Ultraverse, man, they're really thick. So hopefully I won't have no problems with those. Right here, had to call her. Say, hey, come get me. Well, I think that's the last time I had a flat. Well, there it is, exactly. 3,000.3 actually. Well, there we are, my 3,000 mile run. I did put a new chainring on there, as you can see, and a new crank set. I'll try to leave a link for all that down below, and a new FREEWHEEL. Other than that, and the new tire, other than that, everything is stock. And yeah, but would I get it again? Yes, you better believe I would. It's been fun, and yeah. So, alrighty. Well, I'm not going to linger here because I'm in pain, but thanks for riding with me today. Goodbye, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you.